One of the biggest questions that I'm asked is how to connect to deceased loved ones. Hello, everybody. My name is Blair, Robertson, psychic medium, best-selling author of the book Afterlife, 3 Easy Ways to Connect and Communicate with Your Deceased Loved Ones. And I'm here to discuss how you can connect to your deceased loved ones easily. Let's get right into it without any further ado. First thing that you want to do is you want to make sure, this is a big tip, is to make sure that you're open to the signs. And the way you get to be open to the signs is basically taking all of the junk that you've heard, all of the information that you've read about, take it and throw it out the window. So many people get caught up on the rules of what a sign from your loved one is that they actually miss the signs. So many people will say to me, Blair, is it true that cardinals are a sign? Hummingbirds, dragonflies, feathers, rainbows, are those all signs? The answer is they can be. See, if you need to look up something to find out if it's a sign, I'm going to tell you that's probably not a sign from your deceased loved one. Think about this just for a second, because this is so important. Spirituality isn't about making these things more difficult. My job here as a psychic medium and a spiritual advisor is to show you how to make it easier. Let's turn it on me just for a second. My daughter lives in Brisbane, Australia. If I were to die today, and I hope I don't, but if I were to die today, I wouldn't send her signs that she would go, I wonder if that was a sign. I wouldn't send her signs that she would miss. My daughter happens to love my barbecuing. Every time I see her, she wants me to cook there or cook here. She loves my barbecue. If I was going to send her a sign, she'd be driving in her car and the car would fill up with the smell of barbecue. She would know. She wouldn't wonder. She would know that that scent was connected to me. Sounds, feelings, vibrations, things that occur, coincidences. You will know what those signs are. They'll be very clear to you. So stop overanalyzing this stuff. Just be open to any sign from your loved one. That's number one. Just being open will immediately increase the chance of you getting a sign from your deceased loved one. Number two, I want you just to meditate on the feeling and the reason behind the sign. We've been conditioned, told, trained. A lot of books are out there about the meanings of dreams, the meanings of signs and that. The bottom line is every single sign is unique to you and the deceased person on the other side. Let me say that again because that's powerfully important. Every sign that comes through will be unique and special to you and the deceased loved one on the other side. So when you get a sign, show gratitude, say thanks, and meditate on that feeling. The signs aren't going to be massive and huge. They're going to be soft and subtle. They don't require you to use this. They require you to use this. Tap into that feeling. You may feel the touch of a hand on your shoulder. You may feel their presence behind you. Which, by the way, let me go slightly off topic. People always ask me, why do I feel my loved ones sneaking up behind me? Because when you sense them in front of you, it creates this desire to see them. So when we feel them coming up behind us, it's that wonderful feeling of knowing that we're not alone and that they're literally behind us in everything that we do in this life. Third tip for you. We live in a world every single month. Life gets more complicated, busier, faster, crazier. The bottom line is that when they come and communicate to us, they're able to best communicate to us, number one, while we're sleeping, or number two, when we have what the Japanese and Zen call the quiet mind. When we've got the quiet mind, when we meditate, when we slow down, when we take that break, when we stop to smell the roses, that's when they're able to communicate with us the best. That's when they're able to get through to us. If you've got a chaotic day and things are going on and everything's busy, you're going to miss those signs. So make sure that you take the time to meditate a few times. By the way, if you really want a really cool meditation, I've got one right in this book. My book has one. It's the fastest and easiest. But you just meditate and ask them to send you signs. They will. Number 4. I think we're on number 4. I think. Yes. I think it's number 4. Anyway, it's the next point I have for you. Remember when they communicate to us, some people expect them to hear their loved ones or see their loved ones or smell. They can communicate to us using any of the 5 signs. And some signs will be absent for the person, so you can't compare it to another person. Some people may say, oh, I hear my dad through music. I hear him in so many different ways. And it's like, well, I smell my dad. So how come she's hearing and I'm smelling? They can use any of the 5 senses to communicate to us. So be open to every one of them. Every single one of them is valid. It's not one sign is better than another. They're all great signs. And they want to show you that they're there. Love never dies. They want you to know love never dies and we're there for you. And finally, the last one, which I've already talked about, is sleep connections. I've done a video on this, but I'll mention it again right now. The easiest way for our deceased loved ones to make a connection with us is through a sleep connection. I've been teaching this for years. I had a revelation during one of my live demonstrations in front of a group audience. I was saying what all other mediums say, and that is they come to us in dreams. And my spirit guides and this dead person said to me, no, you've got it wrong. We need you to correct that. They don't come to you in dreams. Dreams are naturally occurring. That's part of the sleep process, the rejuvenation process. Sleep connections are different because you will see your loved one as clear as you can see me right now. If they speak to you, you'll hear them clearly. You won't wonder. Dreams are often muffled. Somebody's talking to you and you wake up and they were talking to me, but I didn't understand what they were saying. That's a dream. A sleep connection is totally different, and they're awesome. Also, when you wake up, it will feel like they were just standing right by your bed. It'll feel like they were right there. That's called residual energy because they have to be close to you energetically for you to experience a sleep connection. So when that happens, say thanks. And the easiest way to do this is this. When you go to bed tonight, I want you just to get comfortable. Just when you're nice and in your bed, pull the sheets up, get yourself nice and comfortable, get yourself nice and cozy. And just say the name of one deceased loved one. Now, a lot of people don't follow this. They'll argue with me. I can't pick one. It's impossible. I've got so many deceased loved ones. Well, then don't bother trying because it won't work for you. You just need to name one. Just name one. How many nights do you plan to sleep anyway? You're going to have, presumably, a few nights of sleep left in your life. So tonight, just pick the name of one of them. Say their name out loud. And simply ask, please, I would love to have a sleep connection or a sign from you. Roll over, go to sleep. Now, you may or may not have a sleep connection. It may or may not happen that night. We can't force them to come to the phone, so to speak. But what ends up happening is you will find that they often will come. And if they don't, it may be because they choose not to come in a sleep connection. Instead, they may choose to show you a really cool sign or coincidences in the next couple of days. I can tell you when people come to my group sessions, one of the most common comments after one of my group readings is this: people experience sleep connections or signs in the next couple of days, usually within 24 to 48 hours, sometimes 72, but it's usually much quicker than that. That's because everything which we've discussed today, the people have come to a group session, obviously they wouldn't be there if they weren't open. We do a meditation often at my sessions, and we often are able to quiet our minds and become focused because that's the reason why we're there. It hits all the criteria. Loved ones come through and speak to others, and so you become aware that different communications happen for different people. You become aware that different signs and groupings of signs and different meanings happen for different people. So that when you leave the event, you're open, motivated, meditated, and your mind is quiet, and you believe, you go to bed, and it works. It's an incredible thing. But you don't need a medium, and you don't have to come to a group. You can just do exactly what I've said just now. Follow those tips to connect to your deceased loved ones. Remember, love never dies. Your loved ones are not dead. They are physically gone, yes. You, me, all of us are going to physically die at some point in time. But love never dies. Our energy, our spirit. We are spirits living a human existence. So we don't die. Our bodies might, but we move on into spirit. And they do send signs to us. Remember, love never dies. My name is Blair Robertson. If you haven't done so already, please click on the subscribe button, which is around here somewhere, down below, I think, or if you're on a phone, it's probably up above. I don't know where it is. Click on the sign to subscribe. Hit the bell so you get every single message. Check out the links below because I have a free weekly newsletter that you will love. I've got lots more tips and suggestions like this for you to help you. And remember this, always, love never dies. Thanks for being with me today.